I'm James Carlson, and in every episode we explore what makes football grounds some of the most electric places on earth, from end-to-end noise to the stories behind the songs. This is football through the eyes and voices of the fans who make it. On today's episode, we're going to be talking about Chester FC. I went to Chester FC's football ground, Diva Stadium. Me and a fan of Chester FC went down to Diva Stadium to get a sight of the fans, the game, the stadium, and that's what we're going to talk about on today's episode. Big thanks to Tom Baird for getting some audio of the game. I went to the game and recorded the fans with a Rode mic, which you can connect to your phone. For my phone, I used a Rode video mic ME/C. But we did get some high quality audio of Tom Baird from the media team of Chester FC. And I met up with a fan to show me the ropes of the club. Yeah, I didn't know what to expect, to be honest. It's a non-league club, but it is a pretty famous club. People know who Chester FC are. Big following, big city as well, very popular city. So people go there, tourists go there, people from all around are probably fans of Chester. So I went down to watch Chester versus Darlington. Darlington are a northeast club, pretty far away for them to travel non-league. But yeah, they came down with a big following. They got odd 100 were there, which is good to see. Non-league still thriving, even though it doesn't have the money of like professional clubs. Well, I messaged the Chester football group. I asked them if a fan could come and show me the ropes, which they have. I went there with a stranger, a very nice stranger, to be exact, from Warrington.
Hello, my name's Lewis Bracewell. I'm from Warrington, and ever since I started following football, I've been a pretty die-hard Chester fan. Because my dad's from around the area, and not really one for like big football clubs. So I prefer, the more tight-knit community aspect of Chester FC. So whenever I can, I come down.
Yeah, we just got straight to it, walked in to Diva Stadium. Quite a big stadium for non-league. Got a pint beforehand, as you do, and we were in Block F. I thought that was like the hard like fans go, all the firms and that. But no, I was sat in the family section, but still good atmosphere. Still had a few blokes a bit too drunk, shouting, screaming right next to kids. But yeah, that's what football is. You get characters like this.
Yeah, to be fair, we don't have the biggest firm following like some other non-league teams and obviously league teams. It's a bit more of a family club. We do have the die-hard fans. Most people, they're just looking for a great day. And I like to think that even though we're not the greatest club in the world, the community and the fans always make the experience better.
It was a good feeling walking in, wasn't it?
It was great. I love it every time.
The crowd were shouting beforehand. Players getting pictures with the fans, which is cool. And while I was getting ready to set up, someone came up to me and said, "What's that?" And I was like, "Oh, Zoom recorder, mate." Gets the audio. I simply asked him for an interview. His name is Dan. He's from Stevenage. He goes to uni here. Here's a little interview.
Well, I mean, it's similar size city to Stevenage, but I feel like the fans are a lot more sort of involved with the game. They're a lot more passionate about it than Stevenage. So when I came to uni, I really wanted to find a team. And obviously living close to the stadium. I think Chester are going to win. So we probably win. We've been doing well recently, so I'd be optimistic, say 2-0. Well, it's always more difficult when it's, the sun's out because people haven't had time to, go out, have a few drinks, so the night games tend to be a bit more, loud atmosphere. But, we can keep good form going, so I can't see why it wouldn't be a decent atmosphere.
You can also hear that it was a windy day, a very windy day, a bit cold, freezing to be exact. But yeah, the game started, the crowd was lively, shouting at everybody, running after the ball. I picked out a favourite player, which I thought, oh, I like his name. His name is Shrimpton, but everybody called him Finn. What's your favourite player's name?
Mikey Brown. I've known him for quite a while. Well, he's a good friend of mine. I've been out with him a few times, and obviously whenever he come down, a few weeks ago when we played Dagenham at home, we went out for a few pints afterwards, and he's a lovely fella. And he's a great winger too. And my lads mention things like that in this.
Yeah. I think so.
So obviously game starts, game's going alright, nicking the ball out, passing it back. Everyone's screaming, get into him, get stuck in. We have a few good passing sequences, and then obviously in 10 minutes in first game, we have someone scores. And it's us, I'm actually happy we've gone 1-0 up for the first time in about 6 weeks. We're not the best team on the front foot, but
Motley Henry scored.
Cracking player.
You could see the youth of Chester on the other side to my right, screaming, which is kind of amazing. I didn't realise it would be that loud, to be honest, the crowd, but they hold their own, the Chester fans, don't they?
Yeah, we're all contributing a little bit to the noise, No one's really sat down. We're not a quiet club, as people quite often say.
Big crowd. I think there was at least an odd 3,000 there. There was some Spanish basketball team there that went to Chester University, played Chester University's basketball team from Spain, which they put on the speaker 10 minutes in, which I thought was weird, wasn't it?
Yes, I don't know. Obviously, it's a very very multinational club because it's by a university and it's quite a small university. But any opportunity you can get to try and get the noise out as much as you can and spread the word, we do.
I also realised it was the manager's first game.
Yeah, no manager.
A caretaker manager. He looked like a normal bloke, to be fair.
Yeah,
Didn't look like Pep or anything. That's what you expect in non-league.
Yeah.
His first game. So yeah, hopefully he did well.
Yeah,
You'll find out.
Yeah, well, obviously we're 8th in the league, so we're doing well so far. I'm not sure you can see over the chain in front of him, but not the biggest fella in the world, but it's not about the size of the man, it's about the size of the dog in the fight, innit? And he's doing well for us so far.
When everybody was screaming, people were saying, "Come on, the city," but it's called Chester FC. I've done some research. Before Chester FC, there was a club called Chester City FC, and this team basically went under. No funding. At one point, they had Ian Rush as a manager there, which is kind of cool. Some history coming out, I didn't know that. They were a big team. Chester City have been around since the 1920s, and they recently just went under, and I think 2010 they turned into Chelsea. Yeah, I feel like all the fans there, they still think about Chester City. Kind of sad that, isn't it?
Obviously Chester City went under, but we've got Chester FC now. It's not the end of the world. It's not great either because obviously it's a very historic club. And we've had to restart from the bottom all over again. But I reckon as long as we keep going for it and keep the community spirit and keep fighting for the badge, then eventually we can hopefully get back to those heights.
I do have to say the Darlington fans kept their own against home fans of Chester. They were shouting, singing chants. First half, yeah, it was going a bit lively. Tackles going in, centre, left, right, and centre. The ref was appalling. He let a few bad things go through, honestly.
National League South, they're not National League North, so they're not renowned for the greatest. If the refs in the Prem can barely make it, never mind the ref in the National League North. Half the time they're paid off, probably.
But that's what you want to come and see. This British.
You come for it, don't you?
Yeah.
Everyone's jeering at the ref and he makes a terrible decision and then we let him know for the next 25 minutes. Make sure he drives off in a different car. Kind
of hard to find a seat. There was just families everywhere, kids running about. They were singing songs we could look over. There was a good 200 of them, probably all 15, what they're going to do in a fight. But and then half time hit. So Lewis, I've got some questions for you, right?
Yeah.
What is it about the Diva Stadium that makes it special to you as a fan?
It's actually quite a big stadium for a non-league team, but when you compare it to the massive ones like obviously Anfield, you've got obviously the Etihad. They're nowhere near as big as that, but it's like everyone who's there is going there for a reason. Everyone's there to watch the game. They're there to support the team. They've got an own personal interest in it, and so it's a very tight-knit community. Everyone there really loves the club. That's what I think.
How do the fans contribute to the identity of the club, in your opinion?
It's a very new club, but it's got the identity of an old one. Obviously, Chester City is turned into Chester FC. So we've got a mix between the newer fans, compared to Chester City, I'm quite a newer fan myself. It's a mix between the old guard of Chester City and then the newer fans of Chester FC. Quite a mix between the two because obviously you've always got the older one been around for ages, and then the newer fans. You've got to respect them because you could choose obviously bigger clubs down the area like your Liverpool, your Everton, your Man City or your Man United. But the younger fans, the ones who choose to support Chester FC are always very die-hard of the club.
How does the fan community feel outside of match days, like social media and support groups, etc.?
A lot of the people I've met in Chester, a lot of my good pals are all Chester FC fans and. As I said earlier, it's very tight knit. Social media, it's not the biggest because obviously we're a non-league club, but everyone tries to put in their own little piece. We all interact with it, and a lot of you go around for even on big days, you go around pub, you can talk to someone. A lot of the time, you can just mention Chester FC, and they've been to a game or they know some of the players, or you can always keep up with them no matter what. And we do whatever we can to try and build the club in every way we can.
So when you walked into the stadium, did the atmosphere meet your expectations?
It always does. It always does. It's always a great loud crowd.
After going outside for a rent to get a pie, came back down, sat back down. The crowds was all chatting to each other, talking about the game, and then the game started. All the hurrahs and that. Come on. 15 to 20 minutes after, one of the Darlington players scored. Everyone went quiet. You could feel it in the stands. Everyone was angry. Kind of a cheap goal, to be honest. I think it was just a knock-in after a free kick. But they kept their own after it. They were shouting, "Come on, lads, come on," to the kick-off. The players gritted in, like the fans helping them. That's a good thing in football. The fans always help. That's why there's a thing called home advantage. You know, the fans spurring them on, rather than away where you only have like 200 and you can only hear the home fans. So, yeah, after that goal, the fans were still spurring them on, weren't they?
Yeah, I think obviously with where we are in the league, we're always looking to go up, and we're just outside promotion, outside the playoffs, sorry. So every single point we we want, we're trying to fight for. So obviously when the goal goes in, it's very tense because we can't really afford to drop any points this season at this point in the league. But we try to do everything we can to keep the lads heads held high. Yeah, just got to keep singing, keep the head on the shoulders. You know what I mean?
One thing I realised was non-league players are actually good at footy. You think, oh, I'd have a little go of non-league footy. No, they're actually athletes as well. Not like the professional standard, but still, they've came from a professional club and they've come down to the non-league for a career, money, football.
Obviously, when you compare it to the top level, your athletes, your Premier League footballers, they're not they're kind of terrible, but compared to the average person, they're way better at football than you'd think. You're making pinpoint crosses and passes that are always spot on. But we don't really have the skill nor the talent. But yeah, compared to Premier League footballers, they're not very good. But they're always they're still getting paid to do it. They've been doing it their entire life, and some of them have come from professional clubs themselves.
Every time a tackle flew in, like a 2-footer, like a dirty tackle, it was really good to see that community try and lift their players. Every time there's a big tackle, the ref was having none of it. Every time a tackle went in, like a cheap tackle, he blew his whistle and everyone started screaming. I felt like I was part of the fans, to be honest, when they started screaming. But yeah, good old abuse to the ref doesn't hurt now and then. Probably didn't help.
It's not non-league football without it.
After that goal, the game was 50-50, to be honest. Shots from them, shots from us, up and down, up and down. It was like a basketball game, non-stop.
Either way, obviously, game got quite dicey, heading towards the 90th minute, and
it didn't feel like a 1-1 game.
It felt like, if it didn't feel like a 1-1, it felt like multiple goals had gone in both ends. Both teams are energised, we're all fighting for the victory. But obviously, we want to secure the 3 points, and we just have to keep screaming. Hope some of the boys obviously came off looking quite defeated, but you've always got to keep your head in the game till the 90th minute until the final whistle blows.
Can I just say, this is no disrespect to the Darlington managers. There were 2 of them, so I think it was like a duo manager. One was about at least 6'5", and the other was as tall as like a 10-year-old. It was like something like a James Bond film. People were trying to abuse at him as well, but he wasn't having any of it. Kept going.
Good to do it.
And yeah, we were right in front of the subs benches, so we got to have a good look at right behind it. Could have a good look at the managers and the players. Some of the players were on the phone, which is a bit. I don't think that's allowed, to be honest. I don't think anybody got bothered. Yeah, the game was dicey. One of the good players of the second half was their right back. It was his last game for Chester, and I think he put it all out on that pitch. He looked a good 38-year-old, so he probably cut your losses.
I was going to say he's a legend of the club, but it's just heartbreaking to have him go. But at one
What's
point,
his name?
Max Kilman. It's heartbreaking to see him go, and he's a faithful servant of the club. But at one point you got to leave the game before your head leaves it.
It was good to see the fans as well. They'd done a little platform for his number, and his number was 52. Everybody started clapping. We didn't realise until he was clapping back. Found out it was his last game, which is kind of emotional.
Yeah, we had organised it about 2 days before.
On social media, or
we'd organised it with some of the boys, and then we'd tried to spread it around. Obviously, we've got in contact with Max and let him know. Obviously, considering it's his final game on the on the 67th minute. No, it's the backy number. We're going to, round of applause, and he was loving it. Happy, one of the loveliest bloke you'll ever meet, and
Good player as well.
he's a cracking player. But loveliest player, and he's obviously loved it. You could really see it got to him when he was walking off the pitch.
So that shows how much of a community there is with Chester FC, and they keep a close knit with all the groups and that. So leading into the 90 minute, the ref gave, I think it was 10 minutes plus because someone had a bad injury. Then there was clashed the heads. It's a bit annoying, just sitting there watching these people walk about, all the medics running on. And in the 98th minute, my favourite player scored a last minute winner.
You can always rely on him, can't you?
It seemed like he was a fan favourite. His name's Shrimpton.
Up the Shrimpy.
So, yeah, weird name, but, great player. Reminded me of Jack Grealish.
I wouldn't say that. He's probably better than Jack Grealish, I think.
There was a big counter-attack. Everybody was screaming. I was like, oh my God, here it is, here it is, here it is. I was praying for a last-minute goal for this podcast. And it went in. Everybody jumped up.
So he's had one leg for the entire time and he's just got a head full of legs.
That was your character.
He's notorious around here.
And I started looking over at the Darlington fans. They looked disgusted. So, do you think the Chester FC fans will be on par with a Premier League fan base?
To be fair, we'd be better than most of them because most of them don't actually have any fans. It's all the people who see him on the internet and think I'm going to support that team because they're quite good. Obviously, you've got teams like Manchester City. I don't think Manchester City actually have any real fans. But I think if we were the size of them, we'd be a lot better of a fan base. But we're still in non-league teams, so we've got a lot of developing to do. I'll always be a die-hard fan of this club, no matter where they go, unless they go under.
Thanks for coming on, Lewis. Hope Chester get up to League 2. That'll be a good sight to see, and it'll be good for the city as well. Bring more people, even though people come here for the Tudor buildings and nice restaurants and that. The Roman amphitheatre. That'd be a cool kit to do, wouldn't it? A Rome kit.
Yeah, but obviously,
Yeah, stick to the blue and white.
Yeah. But yeah, personally, I'd like to ask, what did you think as an outsider? What do you think about the atmosphere?
Yeah, it went over my expectations, to be honest. Loud crowd, vibrant game, good players, vibrant people I met. It was good. All the people were friendly.
What would you give it out of 10?
Give it an 8. I'd say it was the same as going to a League 1 match, League 2 match. But yeah, the price of the ticket was £18, which I thought was a bit...
It's quite expensive, obviously, but
it's Chester, isn't it? It's posh. Well, thanks for coming on.
No worries, Lord. It was lovely being on.
We can go to another Chester game again.
Yeah, hopefully. I'll see you there sometime in the future.
That's the supporters' voice for this episode. The grounds are waiting, the songs are ready, and the fans never stop. If you enjoyed the show, subscribe, share it, and help us give supporters the voice they deserve. We'll be back soon. Until then, make some noise.